Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully Enlightened One. So dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes for ourselves to become very clear with the practice we do here. So when it comes to meditation, the very purpose of meditation is purify our mind. So purification of our own mind from the greed, hatred, and the delusion. So when it comes to that, we have to be very careful. It can't do by collecting informations. You can't purify the mind by learning that outside informations. Because the very reason, sometimes even though that outside information, it's look like more important and so valuable, but deeply it has a root related to the greed, hatred, or the delusion. But how you can clear yourself and get out of this greed, hatred, and the delusion? By observing yourself and become very clear, recognizing your own thoughts. So that is what we call the awareness. So out of the awareness, and you have to put that awareness to your own inner thoughts. So that is why this inside operation is a kind of like an art. It's a method. And you have to develop certain skills to master that. So mastering purification of the mind is a step-by-step process. So through these sessions, we mainly try to give basic information for yourself to develop a practice, a method, and have a very clear foundation with your own practice and developing your own wisdom. Because you can't do it just by following, believing, praying, hoping. So that way, there are many things that you can get out of that, but you can't get the purification. Just as example, just imagine there are some dirt on in your garment. So then when you want to clean it, If you just keep hoping, oh, one day this garment will clean. Oh, and then if you keep praying for that, it's not going to go away. So then what you need to do? You have to start to clean it, and maybe you have to put it to the washing machine. If it doesn't work, maybe you have to use your hand, and maybe you have to use certain kind of detergent, and maybe it doesn't work that way. So then you have to put some extra effort, and with some extra detergents to take out these chemicals or whatever the dirt there. So then you can get the clarity. So the same thing with the mind also. So then how this mind caught up with the greed, hatred, and the delusion? So it happened as a result of repetition of our inner thoughts, repetition of our bodily action, repetition of our mental actions. So then the very first step that we have to take is just to little bit void from the mental, physical, verbal actions, and create a kind of like an environment to be neutral a little bit and be silence. So that silence doesn't mean we don't talk with other people. So the silence should be the deeper silence, the very spiritual silence should be, you should stop your inner conversation. That because you talk to yourself always. If you keep talking like that way, what will happen? You will never find the truth happening inside you. So then in the beginning, start to develop some kind of silence. And start to do it mindfully. There are a lot of people use many methods. And people use sometimes the drugs, sometimes some kind of medications, and sometimes some kind of pharmaceutical product, some kind of herbs, some kind of Ayurvedic products to get out of this inner conversation. And sometimes some people take even sleeping tablets to get out, to shut down this inner conversation. It is so strong than we think sometimes. But little by little, if you put some effort to settle down, and then you can get out of this inner conversation. So in the very first step to get out of the inner conversation, learn to settle down with physical body, the physical posture. Practice it little bit, little by little. And then bring a mental object to yourself and focus to something and be with it again and again, again and again. So physically, you physically settle down and you come to the posture. And the second step, mentally, you become very limited to one mental object and then be with it. But still that inner conversation going to happen. It's okay. But what you need to do again and again, again and again, bring it back and be with it. Be with your primary mental object. So then by the time it's going to settle down. So when it comes to that settle down, there are very basic principles you have to follow when you work with this ancient spiritual path. So the one of the major thing in day-to-day life, how you can bring your household lifestyle to your spiritual life. With your husband, with your wife, with your children, friends and family members, with your co-workers, while you do some social works and other things, the very major principle that you have to follow. So that once it become a mental attitude, that deeply you start to facilitate some kind of a spiritual environment in you. So what is the first thing that you have to remember? Don't try hard. That is one principle. For anything in your household life, in your environment, in anything, don't try hard. So that way, when it comes to your mental attitude, when while you practice that, and then deeply, it will help you to find the balance inside, and then it will help you to gain the spiritual benefit also. So anything. So whatever bodily, verbally, mentally action in any environment, in any field, remember, don't try hard. That is one major principle. Another thing is in the deeply, in the beginning, it is very difficult to do, but the wisdom we explain in different ways. So today I'm going to give you another window, another avenue to understand what is wisdom and how you can practice in day-to-day life and how you can be wise deeply spiritually. This wisdom doesn't mean this information world that you go and collect with the information and memorize information. So that's nothing wrong with that. But here the wisdom that you gain is totally different. So what is the wisdom means? When you become wise, what happened to you? And how you, if you are not wise, how you can consciously upgrade yourself and transform yourself and be closer to that wisdom. So this is what happened when you become wise. It's a kind of like that we have conventionally, we have kind of like a go with the responsibility. And when it comes to spiritual life, the pure responsibility is, and the pure wisdom is accepting anything without any condition or without any arguments or without any judgment. If you can try it. Try it 5 minutes every day. Learn to accept within that 5 minutes, whatever happened to you, whatever come to you, within that 5 minutes, accept it, and then you will see. Maybe you can select a day. It's kind of like a time. It's kind of like a middle of the night, 2 a.m. You know, as you know, during that time, no one going to bring anything or no one going to bother you. You know, so you pick up the time, 2 a.m., first 5 minutes, you ready to accept anything. And that is where your wisdom going to work. And keep practice for a few days. Then you will see what will happen sometimes. So accepting anything is another way to understand or master yourself with your wisdom. Oh, I want this, I want that, or I'm going to change this. So like that, maybe you can change things. Maybe you can make things happen the way you want. But still, it's not going to take you to understand the ultimate truth, or it's not going to take you to any satisfaction, or it's not going to take you to any kind of transformation or to develop any kind of profitable skill. Somewhere, somehow, it will create a reaction, or that whatever you have done, it's going to come with some kind of different outcome or going to bounce back to you. But when you come to the enlightenment or the wisdom path, the one of the thing is you become kind of like a biohacker. So the biohacker means what? You hack your karmic path. That is where your consciousness become more powerful. Because once you ready to accept anything, what will happen? In that very moment, in that 5 minute, 10 minute, through this samsaric journey, that whatever happened and whatever you accumulated as the karma, and going to start to work. It's activate. It activate to the highest. But when you try to make things happen, what happened? The karma may be not going to work that way. So what's the meaning of when the completely 100% once karma active? What happened next? Once the karma active, it done, after that, you get out of it. You become free. So in the 5 minute or the 10 minute, you observe, you're ready to accept anything. In that 5 minute, what happened? You tune to the universal path or universal energy, and you be with it. And in that very moment, you deeply purify out of your mental formations, or out of your sanskara, or out of your repetition of life. You avoid, or you stay away, you withdraw. In that very moment, you start to tune to the highest form of your human intellect. And that is the power of awareness, the recognition. So then learn to accept. So whatever come to you, learn to accept in a certain level. As ordinary people, maybe it's sometimes it's difficult for us. But at least around you, try to practice with your husband, wife, children, loved ones, partners, friends, and family members. You know, just get it. Don't resist. And inside your house, it's more safe for you. Just accept it. And then you will see. You will understand the art of accepting. Without any expectations, you ready to accept anything. And that is where your wisdom going to become more powerful. If you can become like that, you become so wise. And other thing is that always when you gain that kind of wisdom, what happens? There is another quality going to be there with you. So one thing is, you're not going to become very limited to only the outside layer. You are capable to see the inside of any situation, or any opportunity, or any environment, or any person, or anything. You start to tune, you start to connect it to the inside. It is so powerful, because most of time we just connect it to the outside layer. And sometimes we think we are so wise, oh, I can do this, I can do that. But sometimes you go to market, you know, it's a very simple example. You try to find some good vegetables. You try to find some good, you know, fruits. Maybe you just look the outside, kind of like mangoes, you know, oranges, apples. So you look outside, avocados, you look like, oh, it's so good, you know, the outside very shining and very clean. You think, oh, it's so good. And you come home, you bring it home and you cut it, you know, you can't eat. It's so sour, or, you know, it's a totally different. But I give you an example. Like when you try to find a coconut, you can't go with the outside, you know, outside layer. And sometimes in our villages, like, you know, even when they get the coconut, there are sometimes, you know, our grandparents, you know, when they see the coconut, They know it is good or bad. It is, we can use it or no. Sometimes they, little bit shake it. And with the sound, they know it is, right time to, break and, make milk, or you can use it for cooking or kind of like that. So by outside, you can't recognize it. So like that, when your wisdom becomes sharp and clear, what happened? When you see something, you are capable to see the outside then as well as what is inside. It is so beautiful. It's get you out of more, doubt or the kind of like unsatisfaction, so that kind of things. Just imagine when you see something, if you are capable to recognize its true nature, how beautiful it is. And what a beautiful experience for you that. Then there is no fear inside you because you know what it is. So that is something. And the another quality going to be with there, when you are capable to tune to the wisdom. So how you can tune to the wisdom? So don't try hard. Another thing is learn to accept without any expectations. Just accept. So then as a result of that, you are capable to see not only the outside. You don't go with the surface level. You don't go with that the price tag. And you are capable to see what is inside. Another thing is, naturally there is a wisdom arise. You are capable to do it before you become ready. What does that mean? When you try to, when you try to be ready. So what does that mean? That means your mental formations, your sanskara, your volitions, that everything interfere. And out of the judgment or out of the comparison mind, and you try to settle down. But when you are really get into the wisdom, there is no judgment like that. There is no place to get ready, because you are already is there. So that is one thing. And in ordinary life, in this convention, in the conditional world, and always we try to become, we try to ready. No, there is a life already happening to you. So just try to tune to that. Be with it. Don't try to, imagine, and don't try to out of that imagination kind of like, build up a life. You can do it, but it's totally going to become unnatural. So then tune to your deeper, this natural process. So you will get out of that mental conditions, and you are already beyond the kind of like a getting ready environment. And sometimes, that in your life, you may experience that. When you are really tuned to something as deeply from your gut feelings, you are already accepted. So then sometimes you say, oh, without, thinking twice, I accept it. So see that, what does that mean? From where that came? Why then some other times we think twice, like that way? Why it happened to us? Why sometimes in your life, without thinking twice, with your gut feelings, you come and say yes? Why you can't keep it, why you can't expand the duration, and why you can't keep it for 24/7? Why it happened only sometimes? If you look very carefully your life, there were decisions that you took without thinking twice. You exactly saw it and you knew it going to work, and you did it and it worked. And there were things in your life you knew it doesn't work for you, and there was no doubt about it. You didn't think twice and you say no to that, and you knew, and at the same way that you saw before it happened, and you get out of it. So why that not going to happen 24/7? So that is one thing. That is where the clarity arises. And the next one is, you will, when this happened to you like this way, this out of the clarity that come inside you, and another beauty going to be there, you start to become very clear what you love and why you love. So question yourself. There are a lot of things you love with the material things in this physical world, in this mental world, psychological world. And there are a lot of things you love. But the thing is, we don't know why we love it. But when the wisdom arises in you, when the wisdom is there, when the clarity is there, what will happen? If you really love something, you know why you love it. And you know what you love. And then it become more free. And it make you kind of like so relaxed. Because then sometimes look at when we go to, this kind of the shopping malls and window shopping, we go here and there and take things to hand and, put it back, take thing to hand, put it back. We try ourselves and, put it back. And you have to try to know it is not good for you. That's a conventional life. Is it possible for you? Sometimes it happens, but you forget that wisdom. Is it possible for you? When you go to a market, shopping mall or anywhere, when you want to buy something, just imagine, you want to buy a sunglass in this hot summer. Can you, there is a wisdom. Only thing is you have to awake with that. Can you go to a place and without trying, can you pick something knowingly it exactly going to work for you? So that is what, you start to know what you love. It's a connection. It's deeply there. There is nothing to think about it. And at the same time, you know why it is there. Why you love that. And even the cloth, you go to the fitting room and, put it back, and then oh, this doesn't work for me, or this, and maybe you select the wrong size even. That is the worst thing sometimes, And sometimes you are, you are your size, but, you go to the big and tall, section and try to, find things for you. Why you go there? No, just to look. See, because you don't know even your size in the conventional life. So then how about you think about, with the kind of like a wisdom about it? No. There is a way that sometimes it happened to your life. When you saw it, you knew this is the one. And without trying twice, you brought it. And at the same time, exactly it's right for you. So how about that? And what you love. And sometimes it creates the hate. And out of the love, look at the world. The people we love and become the enemies, kill each other, fight each other, go to, the high court and maybe, filing divorce and fighting each other and become enemies to whole this samsara. How it possible? If you are really, love someone, how that love can transform to anger? It doesn't work that way. The very reason is not with that person. Remember that. When you start your love, you was not clear with your own mind and you misunderstood that whatever happening inside you. That's why you went to that person and that situation. So you are responsible for that. And see, now it's a connection. Then now, once you know that, and another thing, when you become wise, and it's going to clear that mistake. How? Because now you are totally ready to accept anything. And so then no arguments, no fight, anything. You're ready to accept. So like that in the world, remember, this clarity, is the wisdom doesn't mean you become a different person. No, you become a different person with your mental behavior, with your inside, not with the outside. Your behavior going to be look like same, but the way you take it, the way you accept it, the way you react deeply within your own mind going to be totally different. So in this wisdom path, when you walk this way, when you practice little by little, remember this is the transformation happens. So now you know these informations. And then you can go for kind of like a test drive, how you can do that. And see get the taste about the wisdom. And start to kind of like, look into yourself. And when a situation comes, one of the major beautiful thing that you can practice, learn to accept. And it will heal yourself, and it will bring a lot of benefit to you and also for other people also. Other people start to feel so comfortable with you, and at the same time, it will create a kind of like an environment for you and for others to grow, and it's going to become a more profitable way of living. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit. So now remember, don't try hard. So just learn to settle down and observe and develop the clarity moment by moment and keep the continuation. So bring your right palm to your left back, your neck, head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. And scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say Sopatveva, oh may I be well and happy 3 times. And take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from your past, memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens through the sensation, recognize it, do nothing extra. Bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all 6 directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha, and also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. ittavata ca ammehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhutanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe sattanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddhang pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paribunjissami idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.